What's going on YouTube? It's your boy, Flock Nation Fumbles, back with another video. Tonight we're going to be discussing the NFL Wild Card game predictions. The first games will start on Saturday. Let's go with those. The first matchup is a rematch from earlier this year. We have the Los Angeles Rams up against the Carolina Panthers at Carolina. Carolina won this first bout. They upsetted the Rams. I think it was like 27-26, or they won by one or between 1 to 3 points. Rams unfortunately didn't get the number 1 seed as they were speculated to earn this season, so they will be fighting. They're the number 5 seed fighting a number 4 seed. I believe Davante Adams is back for the Rams. Matthew Stafford led the league this year in passing yards and in passing touchdowns. Carolina, they got in because of a 3-way tie that favored them to win the division. They did lose to Tampa Bay in Week 18, but then the Atlanta Falcons won their game. So it was like a 3-way tie with an 8-9 record, and Carolina squeaked in because I believe a division record or best head-to-head. So with that said, even though Bryce Young has been up and down this year, with like a game where he threw like 450 yards, but there's been games where he struggled, and they did beat the Rams last time. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams to beat Carolina. The Rams are 10.5 money line favorites. They're getting Davante Adams back. I feel like this might be one of the blowout games of the weekend. Give me the Rams 34-17, and they will be moving on to next week. After that, we have the last Saturday game is another divisional showdown. Well, another rematch from early in the year, but divisional teams. We have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Honestly, this one, the money line is Green Bay and a half is favored by 1.5, or they're favored by 1.5. Excuse me. This could honestly go either way, in my opinion. It's going to be a coin flip game. I do like Chicago in this one. They are at home. Chicago beat Green Bay last time they played, when Caleb Williams threw that dot in the end zone in overtime. And they pulled off the W. Jordan Love has been in the playoffs before. Caleb Williams has not. So that could have a factor in Green Bay pulling off the win for this. But in my opinion, I feel like Caleb Williams and Chicago and Ben Johnson are going to be prepared. These two teams know each other inside and out. It honestly just comes down to who gets the turnovers in this game. So give me Chicago. I think it's going to be a very close game. I'm going to have Chicago winning 24-21. Give me Chicago as the number 2 seed moving forward to the divisional round next week. After that, we have a trio of Sunday games. We're going to start off at 1 p.m. The Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The money line has Buffalo favored by 1.5. Jacksonville was able to claim the divisional title with a win over the Tennessee Titans. This is a very important game for Josh Allen. And the reason why I'm saying that is because quarterback-wise, with the stature and big name success, you don't really have it in the AFC this postseason besides Josh Allen. Um, Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they're not in it. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they are not in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they did not make the playoffs this year. This should be the easiest path for Josh Allen and the Bills to make the Super Bowl this year. But with that being said, I don't think they have a strong matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence has played lights out the past couple of months. He's playing very well. I remember it was a couple weeks ago, he had a 6 touchdown game. He had like 5 passing and 1 rushing touchdown. If they're able to limit James Cook in his production, I don't think Josh Allen and his Superman cape is going to be enough to overcome the Jaguars and win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think Jacksonville's defense is probably going to shake and get Josh Allen a little rattled up. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this football game 23-17. And unfortunately, if the Bills also lose this game, I believe their head coach will be gone the next day or the next week, like John Harbaugh got the boot like 2 days after the Ravens lost their win-or-go-home game. Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen have high expectations this postseason. So this is a game I'll be watching and keeping my eye on. Let's go next to the San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the 6th seed going up against the 3rd seed. San Francisco, they had a chance to get the number 1 seed up against Seattle Seahawks, but they basically almost got shut out. They lost 13-3. Brock Purdy has played pretty decent here recently. He had a show-out game against Chicago Bears. It was like 42-38. But they are 4.5 money line underdogs up against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I believe the Eagles will bounce back. I feel like a lot of people are not going to pick the Eagles to make it far in the playoffs, but we are talking about the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions. I know the Philadelphia Eagles offense has been sputtered and sporadic for most of the season. I know there's a weird stat out there that Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are either undefeated or like 10-1 when he throws for under 200 passing yards, which is a weird stat. That's just like insane. I'm gonna have the Eagles win this game. I think they're going to win 27-21 against the 49ers and move on to the divisional round. After that, we have the last Sunday night game. We have the Los Angeles Chargers going to the New England Patriots. Moneyline has New England winning this game at 3.5. Justin Herbert, he's been in 2 playoff games, I believe. One against the Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville Jaguars, where they blew a 30-point lead and lost. And then last year, he threw 3 or 4 picks up against the Houston Texans. Drake May and the New England Patriots. This is their first playoff appearance since Tom Brady, I believe. And Drake May's first overall appearance. The Chargers arrested Herbert last week, and Drake May was playing for a potential number 1 seed, which they failed to achieve because of the Broncos beating the Chargers, I believe. The New England Patriots, they're a weird team to judge because they've had the easiest schedule this year, and I believe they've had the easiest schedule, top 10 all time. When you like tally up all the seasons in the NFL. I'm going. The Chargers defense is pretty decent. But give me Drake May and the New England Patriots in this one. It's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be like 33-30. And I'm going to have New England and Drake May moving on to the divisional round. After that, our last wild card playoff game for Monday Night Football, we have the Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. My gut and the money line's Houston favored by 3. I could see that potentially. I could see them potentially blowing out Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers is getting back DK Metcalf. He had a hell of a game against Baltimore, but let's be honest, Houston's defense is going to probably beat the shit out of them. They have the number 1 defense in the league. They have 2 bona fide pass rushers, and Hunter and Will Anderson, and they have really good 2 corners. C.J. Stroud, I think he's going to do okay against this Pittsburgh defense. It's just going to boil down to how well C.J. Stroud does against the Pittsburgh defense. That's what's going to determine this game, because I feel like even with DK Metcalf coming back, I feel like Houston's defense is just going to be a little bit too much for Pittsburgh and Old Man Rodgers. But I can see in a world where Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin pull off the W at home, they haven't won a playoff game in 8 to 10 years. If Pittsburgh loses this game, Mike Tomlin could join John Harbaugh on the employment line and get let go. So this is a very important game for Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin to show that they still belong in the conversation of playoff caliber teams. But with that said, I feel like Houston's defense is just going to be a little bit too much for them. I'm going to have Houston Texans winning 19-10 against Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with that said, that is my playoff prediction video. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and I will see you all soon, and have fun watching the playoffs this weekend.